Real Candy Rain. I wrote a book. It is called How to Not Get Shot and Other Advice from White People. It'll be out June 26th. And it basically, the premise of the book is all the advice that people give you, white people give you to avoid being shot. And this is something, you know, obviously, I'm not a prognosticator, but I am an African American who lives in America who have seen the history of these things. Before there was a black-on-black crime, before there was any kind of label, policemen were getting slaughtered. Black men were getting slaughtered by policemen with no one being about to account for it. We've had over 200 race riots because this has happened, where black people are being you know, brutalized and nobody's being brought to account for it. Before you had you know, the fact that old policemen are in dangerous neighborhoods, before they had any label for it, this was a phenomenon that continued to happen. It is no different with STEPHON Clark. Now, all I know is that for the last couple of years, I watched Dylan Roof. We know he walked in with a gun and killed 9 people. We also know he was arrested. The Parkland shooter in Florida, we know he had a gun. We know he killed a bunch of people. We know he got arrested. Why is it you can you come home alive if they know you have a gun, but you die if they think you got one? What is it about not knowing, not being sure that somebody has a gun that makes you act so recklessly? Somebody's going in trial in Minnesota for killing a blonde girl because he just acted recklessly. If you to me, and stop telling me don't rush to judgment. If a policeman has shot an unarmed man, somebody already did rush to judgment. It already happened. Stop. And there's nothing so egregious that people in the nation are rising up and saying this is enough. The whole reason that we have video cams and cam recorders is because we have a problem with the policemen. And to address that problem, they gave us the cop cams. And now, when they have a video, the way that this works, transparency is like this. We should see the video as soon as they see the video. They shouldn't have time to edit it and get their story together. And also, if it is that the officer's account differs in what's on that video, he should lose his job. You don't get to see the video, make stuff up, and then tell us a story. They're not your home videos. That's not your epic opus where you're making Black Panther 2. Those things are for transparency, and they're designed to breed trust between the communities and the police departments. But what you do is you take the video and you say when the video comes out, you will be you're going to see things the way we do because you have time to edit or make a story up or get everything in line. Those are not your videos. I don't know what happened, but you do. I don't know whether you were right or wrong, but you do. But we'll never know because you'll always have the advantage of telling us what the story is. In Baltimore, not too long ago, policemen were caught on tape planting drugs. And you know what they said? They said we were recreating the crime. You don't get to do that. We are tired of watching people being slaughtered with no one being brought to account for it. We are tired of it. And we are tired of a nation that pretends like we're crazy because we act. Anytime in the same month, a boy shot 16 people and he goes to jail. A boy has a camcorder and he dies. And you think that's okay? The only reason this could exist is some people are comforted by the fact that young black men and young black women are slaughtered in the street. They think that's the way it's supposed to work. That is justice working for them. If it's a mistake, people should lose their job. He lost his life. There'll never be an answer for that. But if there's a mistake and somebody shot an unarmed person, stop telling me not to rush to judgment. You already did it. What you don't want us to do is to re-rush the judgment. We are tired of people being murdered in the streets, and stop telling me about how, oh, it's black on black crime in Chicago. Those people go to jail when they kill somebody. It's the most asinine excuse in the world. If somebody were a rape victim and you don't get to re-rape them, if they rob a bank, you don't get to rob the bank too. If they're domestic abusers and the police get called, they don't get to start whipping ass. So why is black on black crime an excuse for policemen to brutalize people? That man is dead. He'll never walk again. Somebody made a mistake. He didn't have a gun. And I am tired of people telling me how hard this cop's job is. We know you have a hard job, and that's why you're supposed to be trained correctly. We understand. You think it's hard to be a cop? Try being a black man when a cop pulls up. We all got our crosses to bear. But ours is crosshairs. You slaughter our children in the streets and you tell us that we're crazy. You slaughter our children in the streets and then you say, well, you do it. I don't know what happened that day. And I suspect I never will. But I know this. If we're supposed to have a system of transparency, that system should have accountability associated with it. Because I noticed that every time a camcorder goes off or the mute button goes off, somebody's dead. And every time that happens, if a police give you a ticket and you don't sign it, you go to jail because you're presumed guilty. If your story doesn't match what's on that camcorder, and we should all see the video at the same time, somebody from the police department, somebody from whatever, and somebody from the community should all see it at the same time, so nobody, because you have a vested interest in me not knowing. You have a vested interest in me because this system works for you. And stop telling me, oh, they need sensitivity training. How are you so insensitive that you think murder is okay? No amount of training can fix that. There's a system that bias in this country, and then there's a police department that allows these things to happen, and people are tired of it. People are tired of our children dying, and everybody telling us it's their fault. Well, if he didn't, or if they didn't, you know, there was one point where they told us to train our teachers how to train our children how to interact with policemen. Has it gotten to the place where children who you can't even get to clean their room are supposed to be more accountable than trained civil servants? People are dying, and it is not okay. We are supposed to have a system of transparency, and we have a system of accountability. Accountability is just not for black kids that get killed by the police. It's also for the police, too. You killed a man that was unarmed, and I watch you take armed suspects who have done damage all the time. This is not what you have cameras. We should see them when you see them. You don't get to you should get to take them and archive them and show them when you think. We already think the worst. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, and all of them should not be told to us by the police department. All right, that's a little note from the GED section. We got the Jazz Report coming up in 15 minutes. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.